Hello guys, we are here with the brief explanation of Dawn Editorials. We will go through the meaning of difficult words, idioms, punctuation marks and discourse markers. Don't forget to subscribe the channel so that you can get the daily updates. Our first difficult word is bigotry. Bigotry means prejudice, biasness, partiality, sectarianism or discrimination. Cremate. Cremates mean dispose of a dead person's body by burning it to ashes. Chauvinist. Chauvinist mean a person displaying aggressive or exaggerated patriotism. What is plank? Plank is mean to put or set something down forcefully or abruptly. Indulge means involve. These are the discourse markers highlighted in different color. These are the punctuation marks known as double dashes. They break the flow of sentence. New Zealand's Prime Minister is Jacinda Ardern. In addition is a discourse marker. Similarly, still is also a discourse marker. Hoarding means stockpile, stock, store or collection. However, is in between the double commas, it will not break the flow of sentence. Errant means guilty, culpable or misbehaving. Slash means cut or slit. Staple food is a food that makes up the dominant part of a population diet. Unscrupulous means unprincipled, unethical, immoral or amoral. Foiled means to prevent. Gruesome means frightful, horrid or horrifying. Insurgency means an active revolt or uprising. Grievances mean complaint, criticism or objection. Disgruntled means angry or dissatisfied. Our first editorial is about Islamophobia and Muslims targeted. Far-right movements have gained ground across the globe, blaming ethnic and religious others for all societies' failing. In some countries, groups that were once labeled extremists are now controlling the levers of power, making life difficult for minorities. Among the xenophobic trends spreading across the world is Islamophobia, as Muslims are targeted for their faith. In this regard, OIC, Islamic Organization of Islamic Countries, OIC, decision to observe the International Day to Combat Islamophobia is a welcome initiative to raise awareness about anti-Muslim hate and come up with solid strategies to counter bigotry. Bigotry means, as we already studied, means prejudice or biasness. As the Foreign Office has observed in a statement to mark the day, Islamophobia takes many forms, such as negative profiling, mob attacks by co-vigilantes, and harassment of wearing hijab. The fact is that in a number of states, Islamophobic policies are being supported at government level. In Sri Lanka, a minister recently announced that the burqa would be banned, along with the closure of 1,000 Islamic schools. Though the country's foreign minister said on Tuesday that the ban was merely a proposal, over the past few years, there has been a rise in xenophobic Buddhist nationalism in Sri Lanka, and following the 2019 Easter bombing carried out by IS militants in country, Muslims have faced problems as they are not able to practice their faith freely. For example, is a discourse marker, the government was forcing Muslim families to cremate their loved ones who had died of COVID-19 until the decision was reversed last month. Elsewhere, voters in Switzerland recently banned the burqa and niqab in that country, although very few people in the alpine states wear them. And in India, the Hindu chauvinist BJP's Bharatiya Janata Party has apparently adopted Islamophobia as a central plank of its state policy, passing laws that discriminate against Muslims while looking away when acts of violence target the community. In a recent incident, a Muslim boy was beaten for drinking water in Hindu temple in Uttar Pradesh. The OIC should emphasize that discrimination against Muslims will not be tolerated and that those who indulge in hate crimes must face the law. While terrorists acting in the name of Islam must be brought to justice, their misguided acts cannot be used as a cover to tar all Muslims with the same brush. Moreover, a discourse marker, the civil rights of Muslims must be ensured and they must be allowed to practice their faith freely. Perhaps rulers, Muslims and non-Muslims both, can learn a thing or two about compassion and communal harmony from the New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern. When mosque was attacked in the city of Christchurch by a far-right terrorist in 2019, Miss Ardern led from the front and embraced her country's wounded Muslim community. On the second anniversary of the attacks, she again empathized with the victims, showing that if the state is determined, it can heal wounds instead of widening the communal gulf. In Pakistan, sugar rates are again on rise, increasing sugar rates. Sugar prices are rising again. According to reports, the sweetener is now being sold for up to 110 rupees per kilo in different parts of country. This is in spite of an early and improved domestic sugar harvest when compared to the one last year and the import of significantly large quantities. According to official data, sugar output from July to December jumped to slightly below 73% to 1.9 million tons from 1.1 million tons. These are figures and facts that one can use in essay to support their argument. During the same period the previous year. In addition, a discourse marker to articulate your essay. According to the data from the Pakistan Bureau of Statistics, the country has imported 278 and 482 tons of sugar in the 7 months up to January. The Trading Corporation of Pakistan is reported to have brought 130,000 tons of the sweetener between August and November for consumption in Punjab and KP, while traders have imported 150,000 tons to make up for the shortage. Still, bearing a very brief period, sugar prices have stayed at an elevated level. Producers blame middlemen for holding the commodity to reap profits and the farmers for selling sugarcane at 25% higher than the rate fixed by the government. The government, however, appears helpless against producers and holders and has failed to stabilize the commodity prices. It claims of proceeding against errant millers and middlemen notwithstanding. Inflation continues to challenge the government's resolve to control the prices of essential kitchen items, especially wheat flour and sugar, which has forced more lower to middle income households to cut their other expenditures in order to put food on the table. Sugar is not a staple food, but it is a source of daily caloric intake for millions. In spite of its repeated claims of deploying the administrative machinery against unscrupulous millers and holders, the government has played the role of helpless bystander. The last 1 year has been very hard on the majority of those with fixed incomes because of COVID-19's devastating impact. Real income has decreased owing to high inflation. Millions have lost their jobs as business in the informal services sector struggle to cope with the effects of health crisis. It is high time the government walk the talk and improve market governance to shield people from inflation instead of making meaningless empty claims. If no action is taken now, consumer will likely to be compelled to pay more as sugar prices are set to rise further with an increase in demand during Ramzan, which is just around the corner. Another attack took place on rangers in Karachi. Monday's bomb attack targeting paramilitary personnel in Karachi left one rangers official martyred and injured several people, including member of force. Though it is too early to say whether this incident signals the return of militancy to Karachi, the group that has claimed responsibility for the attack has also been behind several previous such incidents in the city. In 2018, militants of Balochistan Liberation Army attempted to enter the Chinese consulate but were stopped by security officials. Last year, it was behind an attack on the Karachi Stock Exchange building in which 2 security guards and policemen were martyred. In this week's attack, it appears the bomb was planted in a motorcycle and detonated via remote control as Rangers' vehicle passed by. Daesh will break the flow of sentence, indicating that area had been surveilled and attack was planned. Though the previous attacks were prevented by a rapid and effective response from security forces, there is still a need for better intelligence gathering and vigilance. CCTV footage and evidence from the attack site should offer some clues to investigators who must dedicate resources to getting more information in order to thwart the group's future plans to prevent. The BLA time and again has signaled its intent to attack both security forces and Chinese-backed projects, citing its grievances with China's involvement in Balochistan. It has claimed responsibility for some gruesome attacks on FC personnel in Balochistan and has also carried out an attack at a hotel in Gwadar. As security and intelligence officials collect more information, it is worth noting that the BLA is a part of a handful of armed resistance groups in Balochistan who for years have run an insurgency in the name of fighting for a greater share of resources in the province. Alongside counter-terrorism operation, it is important for the authorities to address the grievances of disgruntled Baloch people to put an end to the bloody militancy that has hurt both economy and objective of peace in the country. Thank you so much. This was all about today's editorial. Don't forget to subscribe our channel.